Dear students, I welcome you all to EPG Pathshala. Myself, Professor Sampath Kumar Swai, working as Professor at Department of Tourism Management at Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, Amarkantak, Madhya Pradesh. Today, I am going to give a presentation on topic Environmental, Social, Accounting and Auditing. After completing this module, students will be able to understand the concept and forms of environmental and social accounting, learn the legal framework of environmental accounting in India, know the concepts and forms of environmental audit, understand the concepts of social audit, learn the concept of triple bottom line accounting framework and know the importance of environmental and social accounting and auditing in tourism. Introduction. The environment serves as the sink function for the waste of economic productions, also operates as resources for these activities. Various human economic activities cause long-lasting negative impacts on the environment by way of pollution, climate change, etc., which have been making our earth less inhabitable. Tourism had been regarded as a smokeless industry in the recent past. By the last quarter of the 20th century, the undesirable impact of tourism related activities upon the human environment and culture became more evident. The Brundtland Commission report 1987, Our Common Future, opened the vista of sustainable development. The concept recommends companies to address environmental issues to minimize potential harm that emerges from the business activities and to create economic, social and environmental values. Tourism is one of the pioneering industries that embraced the concept of sustainable development, not only ecologically and socially responsible, but also economically feasible and financially beneficial. Concept and definition. Environmental accounting is a subset of accounting proper, its target being to incorporate both economic and environmental information. Environmental and social accounting grew out of an imperative to balance a company's financial health with its broader obligations. Environmental accounting can be conducted at the corporate level or at the level of a national economy through the system of integrated environmental and economic accounting, a satellite system to the national accounts of countries. Among other things, the national accounts produce the estimates of gross domestic product, otherwise known as GDP. National environmental accounting is an accounting approach that deals with economics on a country's level. Corporate environmental accounting can be further subdivided into environmental management accounting and environmental financial accounting. Environmental accounting is a field that identifies resource use, measures and communicates cost of a company's or national economic impact on the environment. Costs include cost to clean up or to remediate contaminated sites, environmental fines, penalties and taxes, purchases of pollution prevention, technologies and waste management cost. Objectives of environmental accounting for an organization. Organizations use environmental accounting for several reasons, including the following: to minimize environmental impacts through improved product and process design, to assess changes in environment in terms of cost and benefits, to ensure effective and efficient management of natural resources, to segregate and collaborate all environmentally related flows and stocks of resources, to monitor the existing environment management practices, to design and implement necessary measures or alternatives if necessary. Benefits of environmental accounting. In the present global scenario, the environmental performance of an enterprise holds an edge over determining the success of business. The organization that opts to disclose environmental issues in their financial statements gets certain other benefits which are listed below. It enhances the image of the product and the company, which may have an impact on the sales and ultimately profitability. It provides competitive advantage as the customers may prefer environmental friendly products and services. Environmental cost can be offset by generating revenues through sales of waste or byproducts. Better knowledge of environmental cost can facilitate more accurate costing and pricing of products. Forms of environmental accounting. On the basis of scope, there are 4 forms of environmental accounting: environmental management accounting (EMA), management accounting with a particular focus on material and energy flow information, and environmental cost information. This type of accounting can be further classified B. This is an internal environmental accounting tool to select an investment activity or a project related to environmental conservation from among all processes of operations and to evaluate environmental effects. For a certain period, eco-balance environmental accounting. This is an internal environmental accounting tool to support PDCA for sustainable environmental management activities. Corporate environmental accounting. This is a tool to inform the public of relevant information compiled in accordance with the environmental accounting. It should be called as corporate environmental reporting. For this purpose, the cost and effect in quantity and monetary value of its environmental conservation activities are used. Environmental financial accounting (EFA). It is the financial accounting with a particular focus on reporting environmental liability cost and other significant environmental cost. Environmental national accounting. It is a national level accounting with a particular focus on natural resources, stocks and flows. Environmental cost or externality cost and externality cost, etc. Space environmental accounting. The launching of space satellites and missiles in solar planet orbit is accumulating unnecessary garbage in solar system, which are swaying in zero gravity situation without any control over its direction. It could be disastrous for satellite and space vehicles as well as for people when it moves towards Earth with tremendous speed after completing its services. This serious problem necessitated the use of environmental accounting to record and monitor space related environmental information. Approaches to keeping environmental accounting. Physical approach. Physical approach was suggested by the United Nations, where a complete guide is to be prepared indicating the available resources within a country classified according to its state and uses, for instance agriculture, desert land, etc. Depending on this approach, the environmental operations are presented in a physical terms, the current balance of the resource and the additions and deductions from that resource. Monetary approach. The monetary approach emerged due to the fact that physical approach does not fulfill the requirements of the environmental accounting. The monetary approach became popular as the data will highlight the profit and loss associated with environmental operations and can be used as an environmentally adjusted economic indicator. Legal framework for environmental accounting in India. Increasing concern with the protection of the environment and taking anti-pollution measures have become major concern all over the world. The Ministry of Environment and Forest of India coordinates the states and the various ministries in effecting environmental protection and anti-pollution measures. The various laws relevant to the environmental protection are as under: directly related to the environmental protection, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution SES Act 1977, the Air Prevention Act, Control of Pollution Act 1981. the Forest Conservation Act 1980, the Environmental Protection Act 1986, indirectly related to the environmental protecting constitutional provision Article 51A, the Factories Act 1948, Hazardous Waste Management and Handling Rules 1989, the National Environment Tribunal Act 1995. All new projects have to obtain environmental and anti-pollution clearance before they are actually set up. This clearance concerns both Central Ministry of Environment and Forest and the corresponding state government's Department of Environment. Pollution control boards issue show-cause notices to industrial units, and all such units are being kept under constant surveillance wherever cases of violating of standards of water or air pollution are detected. A Gazette notification on environmental audit 1992 under the Environmental Protection Act 1986 has made it mandatory for all industrial units to submit an environmental statement to the state pollution control boards while seeking consent to operate under the relevant environmental norms. Indian Companies Act 1956 requires to include in Director's report environment related policies, problems and annexure details of energy consumption, energy conservation. The latest Companies Act 2013 also incorporates a stress on green initiatives. It emphasizes on corporate social responsibility that makes it mandatory for certain class of profitable enterprises and spend money on social welfare activities. Limitations of environmental accounting. Environmental accounting suffers from various serious limitations as follows. There is no standard accounting method. Comparison between two firms or countries is not possible if a method of accounting is different, which is quite obvious. Input for environmental accounting is not easily available because costs and benefits relevant to the environment are not easily measurable. Environmental accounting cannot work independently. It should be integrated with the financial accounting, which is not easy. Environmental audit, also referred to as green auditing. Environmental audit is a general term that can reflect various types of evaluations intended to identify environmental compliance and management system, implementation gaps along with the related corrective actions. It is a systematic, independent internal review to check whether the results of environmental work tally with the targets. Environmental audit is defined as a systematic and documented verification process of objectively obtaining and evaluating evidence to determine whether an organization's EMS conforms with audit criteria set by the organization, or for communicating the results of the process to management. ISO 14001. Objectives of environmental audit. The following are the objectives of carrying out an environmental audit: to verify compliance, to review implementation of policies, to review management systems, to assess environmental performance, to promote environmental awareness. Types of environmental audit. Environmental audits perform an analogous similar function to financial audits. The main types of environmental auditing are corporate audit. This type of audit specifically examines the efficiency and effectiveness of management in implementing corporate environmental policy of the company. The corporate audit is mainly concerned with the organizational structure to ensure that the roles and responsibilities are understood by chief executives and to examine the organizational structure that deals with environmental program management, line management, responsibilities, technical and advisory support, and the vertical lateral communications, etc. Classification of corporate audits. Issues audit is concerned with how company deals with environmental issue of a key concern. Issue audit involves evaluation of policy operating procedures and other guidelines set against actual operating practice within all the sectors of the business. Issues audit is important as it tends to reassure concerned corporate head office management that operating business vision or plans are themselves environmentally concerned and responsible in all aspects of their business activities. Compliance audit. Compliance auditors check whether a company is complying with the environmental legislation, industry standards, environmental regulations of the host state under which it operates daily, and the company's internal policy. Activity audit. This is another form of corporate audit that evaluates the implementation of corporate policy on company's activities which cross business boundaries. For example, an audit of our cargo operations of a group companies is an activity audit. This may involve an audit of all air freight carriers. Such audit is directed at the company's environmental policy for the operation of aircrafts and the organizational structure required for ensuring effective implementation liability. Pre-acquisition audit. This is used to assess the potential environmental liabilities of a property. When a client is seeking to purchase a site at a company or to merge with another, compliance audit, operational risk audit, acquisition audit and healthy and safety audit form different types of liabilities audit. Liability audit involves the assessment of the environmental status of properties such as buildings, land, site before purchase. Technical audit. Technical audit is carried out as a management tool to solve environmental and safety problems. It is basically an in-house exercise, but many companies use external consultants to introduce independent and objective check on their facilities or to train or supplement in-house staff expertise. With the technical audit, company can look at its rate of compliance with environmental and safety legislations, internal and international and industry standards such as occupational safety standards, procedures, controls and environmental management standards. Product audit. Product audit involves looking at the extraction, supply, production and distribution processes involved in the life of a product. The most commonly used form of environmental audit for products is the life cycle analysis or CRADLE to give assessment. The product audit areas include raw material, production process, utilization disposal, etc. Energy audit. Energy audit involves the systematic assessment of energy inputs, outputs and general utilization of energy in the audited facility. A detailed study of energy use can be used to reduce energy consumption by adopting a more efficient procedures and equipment. There is a double benefit to such a study. Not only can it be used to identify major cost savings areas to the company, it can also reduce a number of indirect environmental impacts ranging from transportation of fuel to the emission of COT, SOT, NOT from fuel use. Carbon audit. A carbon audit sometimes is referred to as a carbon footprint is a means of measuring and recording the greenhouse gas emissions of an organization or building with a definite system boundary. Carbon audit is the first step in developing a carbon strategy, a long-term action plan to manage and reduce the carbon emissions of the organization and its clients. Basic steps of environmental audit. The 4 general test steps involved in an audit procedures are audit preparation. This includes choice of auditor, audit group, collection of background material, planning of the audit orientation. Audit preparation is crucial in determining the methodology, practical tools and materials that will be required for the completion of the audit. A systematic scrutiny or review of facility. Depending on the orientation and goals of the audit, the focus of the scrutiny differs. For example, an environmental audit can be conducted without dealing with the processes involved in production. Reporting. This step involves reporting of observation of deficiencies and possible alternatives. It is important to be aware that an environmental audit by itself does not solve any problems. Following up of the results is an important part of the audit process An evaluation of the results of the remedial action is a logical step. This can be done either as part of the subsequent audit or as part of continuing process of enhancing environmental protection procedures. The environmental audit report. An audit report is essentially to ensure that the results of the audit are passed on effectively. The findings of the audit should be reviewed and assessed. Any actions implemented according to a specified program, the report should consist of a brief description of the areas that have been audited, a review of the audited areas, non-compliances, corrective actions agreed, other areas of potential risk, opportunities for improvement, a summary list of non-compliances, difference between environmental impact assessment and environmental auditing. Environmental auditing should not be confused with environmental impact assessment. Environmental impact assessment, both environmental auditing and environmental impact assessment are environmental management tools and both share some terminology. For example, impact effect and significance, but there are some important differences between the two. Environmental impact assessment is an anticipatory tool, that is, it takes place before an action is carried out. Environmental impact assessment therefore attempts to predict the impact on the environment of a future action and to provide this information to those who make the decision on whether the project should be authorized. Environmental auditing is carried out when a development is already in place, is used to check on existing practices, assessing the environmental effects of current activities ex post. Social audit as a term was used as far back as the 1950s. Social audit is undertaken by companies across the globe to assess their social performance and report the results of those assessments to demonstrate their commitment to social responsibility. Social audits are tools that companies can employ to identify and measure their progress and challenges to stakeholders, including employees, customers, investors, suppliers, community members, activists, the media, regulations, who are increasingly demanding that companies be transparent and accountable for their commitments and performance. A social audit is a way of measuring, understanding, reporting, and ultimately improving an organizational social and ethical performance. It helps to narrow gaps between vision and goal and reality, between efficiency and effectiveness. It is a technique to understand, measure, verify, report on and to improve the social performance of the organization. Framework for a social audit. Steps: secure commitment of top management and on board of all directors. Establish an audit committee. Define the scope of the audit process, including subject matter areas. Important to the social audit is that environment, discrimination, employee rights, privacy, philanthropy, legal compliance, etc. Review organizational mission, policies, goals and objectives. Define the organizational social priorities as they relate to stakeholders' identity, the tools or methods the organizations can employ to measure its achievement of objectives. Collect relevant information in each designated subject matter area, including internal data, data from concerned stakeholders. Summarize and analyze the data collected and compare the internal information to stakeholder. Expectations: have the results verified by an independent agent, a social audit consultant, accounting firm that offers social auditing services, or non-profit special interest organizations with social auditing experience. Report the findings to the audit committee and, if approved, to managers and stakeholders. The social audit should be conducted regularly. Although social auditing may present problems, it can generate many benefits. Through the auditing process, a firm can demonstrate the positive impact of social responsibility efforts on its bottom line, convincing stakeholders of the value for value of more socially responsible business practices. Triple bottom line TBL framework. Triple bottom line is an accounting framework that incorporates social and environmental accounting. It has three dimensions of performance: social, environmental or ecological, and financial. It is a sustainable reporting tool by a company or organization about the economic, environmental and social impacts caused by its everyday activities. The term was coined by John Ellington in 1994. In traditional business accounting and common uses, the bottom line refers to either the profit or loss, which is usually recorded at the very bottom line on a statement of revenue and expenses. The triple bottom line differs from traditional reporting frameworks as it includes ecological or environmental and social measures that can be difficult to assign appropriate means of measurement. Triple bottom line allows organizations to apply the concept in a manner suitable to their specific needs. There are challenges to putting the triple bottom line into practice. One problem with the triple bottom line is that three separate accountings cannot easily be added up. It is difficult to measure the planet and people accounts in the same terms as profits, that is in terms of cash. Importance of environmental and social accounting and auditing in tourism and tourism activities, especially those that utilize the natural environment to attract visitors, significantly relied on the quality of the resources, beaches, caves, waterfalls and etc. provided by the site. As the scale of tourism grows, the resource use threatens to become unsustainable. Even though these activities may generate substantial income, in many occasions it was found that they potentially degrade the resources as well as socially affect local community. Without environmental responsibility and related high quality accounting information, the levels of cheaper mass tourism will increase, forcing more nature based tourism to move on to new destinations. Environmental degradation resulting from mass tourism / other poorly planned tourism ventures will also drive away tourists from those destinations. Summary: environmental and social accounting and auditing is a tool for ensuring sustainability by communicating the social and environmental effects of organizations and attempt to try and balance or at least to mitigate the negative environmental impacts. It is the collection and assessment of environmental and financial performance data obtained from business management, information systems, environmental management and financial accounting systems. Tourism activities, especially those that utilize the natural environment to attract visitors, significantly rely on the quality of the resources provided by the site. Social accounting and auditing at the destination level and tourism service provider level will ensure the conservation and enhancement of natural tourism resources, thereby supporting the prolonged existence of tourism. With this, I conclude the presentation. Thank you very much.